Okay, so we have 5 people. How many of you know NVIDIA? You both know. You all. So there is nothing much for me to talk then. How many of you are interested in setting up a startup or as one? And hardly 5 people. We can literally make it a conversation. You're all able to hear me though, right? Let me give you a quick perspective on NVIDIA. 2 minutes. We started as an accelerated platform. Our founders rather understood that was pretty suboptimal for doing the standard compute work which is required in practical environments, in any domain of practical environment. That's where they sort of innovated and built the GPU. Now, in the GPU, you have thousands of small brains. And we built an operating environment to manage the thousands of cores, brains, so that you can get those thousands to work together in small packets of many of them together or all of them together to a defined area of the problem. Are you with me? When you do that, you are in a position now to able to get those people, cores, smaller brains, to work together on various areas of the problem. Think about it like if it's a graphics problem, you need that compute core at the back end to compute the elements in each of these pixels of this display which you are seeing here, right? Each one of that, and give that compute into it so it can light it up. If one big brain tries to do that, it will start lighting from the one corner to the other, and you will never be able to get the graphics to do like this. Makes sense? But if each of them has been given, hey, you take up this portion, you take up this portion, you take up this portion, and you plan that environment like that using your underlying operating environment, now magic happens. That's the accelerated computing platform we built. Then we understood that, look, I cannot do this. I'm saying hi as a company, okay? We cannot do this if we build this tech to the ground and leave it at that. Because we need money now to take this to multiple other domains. So we realized every man is a gamer, woman is a gamer. And we built the gaming industry on the PC. So that, and gaming needs graphics, right? So that it would get us the momentum and the growth required to invest into other areas while we continue to do the great things on this domain. Now you have realistic physics-enabled gaming happening, which is we continuing to do that. But on the other side, we took the same approach to domain areas in high-performance computing, where the standard computing approach was again doing it, just like I told you in graphics, the same approach to high-performance computing also. Now, the code elements in physics is different from the code elements in chemistry, different from code elements in biology, right? So we worked with each of those domain-specific code areas with the creators of that code and built additional libraries and tools to enable them to take advantage of this underlying code. Now that code, just like the graphics, which was running on the general purpose at 1x, could run 20x, 200x on this platform. Are you all with me still? And we went about this for 20 years, domain by domain, and accelerating that domain. The strategic impact of this is, if you're a scientist wanting to take on a grand challenge problem like forecasting the weather and forecasting it short term and forecasting it long term, what will happen next 10 minutes, what will happen next day, and what will happen next year, you need huge computation. If you try to do that in the serial computing mode, you will not solve that in your lifetime. So if you're a weather forecasting, weather tech scientist, you cannot do your life's work in your lifetime with that approach. Our platform enabled you to do that. We did that with those domains one by one over the last 20, 25 years, and has become the de facto high performance computing and other tech accelerated computing platform across these areas. And then in 2015, magic happened with AI. You always wanted to do AI. The approach to AI, which we were doing till then, was an expert oriented approach. But in 2015, 2012, when LXNet happened, LXNet literally bought us an algorithm which is sort of training. It's not training that algorithm, is training like your child, our own brain. You are teaching that algorithm using data and experiences. That's how we learned, right? You, me, everybody learned like that, right? You didn't know how a cat is by getting an understanding that cat is this because their eyes are 2 inches different, apart. It has this many hairs. It is this long. No, your father or mother took you to the garden. You saw something. You said something, and they said, "No, this is a cat." And 3, 4, 20, 30 times you are like able to understand this is a cat. And then you saw a dog and you said cat, she or he will correct it and said, no, this is dog. And 3, 4, 5 times, far lesser than how much it took for the cat, you've learned it's a dog. We understood that this is dramatically shifting the compute which we know into a different thing. And we invested into enabling that area and that domain top to bottom and transformed ourselves into a full stack accelerated computing platform for AI, incremental to all that we were doing. Just like in other domains, we built underlying semiconductor cores to support that and additional software stacks to accelerate AI domain. In other domains, if you had a problem which was bigger than what you could do in standard compute, or you wanted to do that faster, that's when you would come to our platform. But with AI, it was a little bit different. You had to start with us because you couldn't do pretty much what you wanted to do with other platforms. So it became pretty much the default. Then 2 incremental things happened. The neural networks, over the first 4 or 5 years of its time, started building perception capability on computer vision. Very, very fast rate, right? It in a 6 and 7 months time started having capacity to understand objects far superior than human beings. Next 8 months, it could detect objects, qualify and classify them far better than humans. And over the next few 6 months jump, it literally became better at recognizing images and understanding images than human beings in multiple domains, right? And that growth path was supported by 2 components: the data in it and data which was required for making this happen, which was enabled with the mobile internet which was there and our multiple other domains which we had, and the underlying compute which was needed for this. Over the 30 years which I've told you about domain to domain going, semiconductor industry also delivered to us double the power leveraging Moore's law. You all knew that, right? You all been beneficiaries of that also. We but took that advantage and on top of this gave you this accelerated computing platform which effectively delivered to you, when they delivered with the general purpose computing 10x growth in 5 years, we delivered to you 100x growth in the same period of time. And today we are delivering 1000x growth. And over a period of time, when they've delivered to you in this 30 years, this much, we have delivered a 1,000,000x growth percentage. It's magic. And that magic is what has enabled the growth and capacity for vision to happen with AI, which we have seen. And as vision was taking off, language started happening. And the computer's capacity to understand language improved, but the underlying compute demand for understanding that language was exponentially also increasing. And we continually delivered to that to build bigger and better and more stronger GPUs. And finally, all of you realized GPT, and that gave you generative AI. Now, you need to understand, all of you, I'm assuming most of you are interested in building startups or doing startups. Generative AI is actually generating at the endpoint new things. That's what generation means, right? Till then, we leverage compute for information retrieval and predicting only. This is substantially different. You are now generating new content, new information at the point of where you want it. When you generate and in this disruptive manner, and when the generation is cheaper than leveraging this information processing, the underlying fact of everything changes. You are in a potential now to create something new at the edge, whether it is in language or in video or in any modality. Now, most of you have seen this in front of your eyes in the last 3-4 years. That's it, right? GPT's evolution. When it came, it couldn't understand much. And then you have seen the level of absorption of understanding and concept clarity which is it's having over a period of time, right? It's starting to reach a good maturity of it where we can leverage it for practical purposes, which we are already doing. But that has substantially changed an underlying thing for all of us. It has changed how we create software. Because now you have capacity to literally talk to the algorithm and tell it, this is my problem, I want to code for it. Correct? And that is disruptive. Across other domains also it's disruptive because now you are having something which augments you. Right? And augmentation is generative also. And that translates, if you think through this whole scheme of things, into now you having a tool which is not passive. Let me explain what I'm meaning. Through this period of time, all tools, every single tool that we have built is a passive tool, which needed intervention from our side or something to act on it. Right? This enablement of generative AI now enables us tools which can act on its own, understanding its environment, instruct it rather than program it. So that instruct it changes and democratizes software development. Everybody becomes a developer now. Your tool now can be told to what to do. Think through this. If you want to now drill a hole in this middle of the screen, today you would measure the dimension of the screen, get a carpenter or a mason to put that drill, push it, and get it done for you. Amazing drill he has, which is what you built as a tool. Correct? Tomorrow, that drill will be conceptually aware of what to do. You will tell, I want a hole in the middle of this wall for me. It will scan that wall, understand where is middle, lift it itself up, drill a hole for you. Disruptive, right? Now the problem and the goodness with disruption is, when the disruption in these type of things happens, the marginal cost of creating that new value reduces. When that marginal cost reduces, you are in a potential to do way beyond or completely different things than what you have been doing. This is what happened with us with mobile internet. The marginal cost of many things got disrupted in that environment, because of which you could have an Airbnb without having the infrastructure of hotels and buildings. You could have a transportation company, biggest one, Uber, without owning cars or fleets, because the marginal cost of that core value disrupted. That's what's happening in software also. Now, our IT industry was built with our capacity to arbitrage cost of that software development from here versus other region. Value which we delivered was that cost reduction. With AI democratizing software development, the opportunity for us is to create AI. Now, if you think through this, So now that tools we have used when built over this period of time augments our limited physical capabilities, muscular or eyesight or anything, and that's the tools which we have. Now, the biggest and the most powerful one which we have is our intelligence. Your AI now enables you to augment that, the potential for that with what we have done with physical, and it's enabled us go to moon. What we can do with arguments of the AI intelligence enables us to go way beyond that. So it's not a limiter, but it disrupts the underlying construct of every single industry. So as you see GPT and the potential of those now, what you really realize is now I can have my agent doing what I want for me as a personal assistant. Literally, that's what you will be starting to realize. So companies in the initial phase of this growth, the wave one of it, built the infrastructure for creating and training GPTs. Now that's a wave one, right? So that you and me had foundation models which enabled us to deliver that value proposition which GPT is giving you. Then started the capacity for us to create agents for doing specific focused workflows. And then containing that agent, just like we can train a college graduate in any domain to a particular industry workflow, now we are training specific to that industry and then containing that student into working in that defined boundary conditions. You are taking this general purpose trained model and then you are taking that to create an agent for your domain specific work. That gives you a capacity, and then you're connecting that to the policies which you want it to follow, guardrailing it, and then you are connecting it to your real-time data. Effectively creating an agent for customer service, for logistics operations, pretty much anything. You are in gradual stages enabling it to do this on its own or supporting biological intelligence agent, human, in their work, improving their productivity upfront. If you're a coder today, you would be needed to understand how to leverage GPTs, and you would be asked to reformat that code, refactor it to support the scope at work, which improves your productivity by 20x, 30x, 50x. So the second generation evolution of GPT enable companies who are focused now in building copilots and agents for every workflow. You will find this evolution, and then you will have companies looking at how do you deploy this into the physical world. Whatever you have seen today is still top of the iceberg of what is possible with AI as it comes and evolves into the physical world. So everything that moves will be autonomous. You put conceptual intelligence into the mechatronics of a device, that thing now is able to interact with its rest of the world, just like you and me interact with us also. And that enables a revolution which we are just starting to see. You need intelligence to be built for that. You will do it if you're a startup in the next phase of it. And then the next evolution of that is every government will understand that this is the element which I'll be able to take to serve my citizens, and you will build it as a core infrastructure for your country, for your nation, where sovereign AI will deploy. This is the opportunity for you as startups with AI coming from. It's just unbelievable. NVIDIA, as I told you, is an accelerated computing platform. We are end-to-end continuously evolving ourselves to support you across the stack with the underlying hardware, the operating environment for that, libraries and tools to support you on that, and then full framework of tools to enable you to take advantage of this at any layer which you want. You want to start at the bottommost layer, you can take it, or this, or a combination of any of it. That's what we built you as a platform, and at a time when you demand this. So you take our platform, build what you want, and use it. That's our developer. My job, I'm sorry if I didn't introduce myself. My name is Unnikrishnan. My job is to enable these developers in this region, in all size and shape and nature of that. And we have multiplicity of programs to do that. One of them is focused and targeted at startups, which we call Inception. It's a virtual accelerator where we enable you with a level of advantages across the journey of you as a startup. We take nothing from you, in the sense we just take a membership from you. We do not ask you money for joining. We do not take IP from you, and we facilitate you in multiplicity of ways, right? So I wanted to quickly get you through that. And my colleague here, Prateek Jain, will cover you on the program specific. But before I leave you, I just wanted to put this final thought in your mind and leave. See, through the value chain of what I've told to you, India had incredible opportunities, and we built the IT industry. But we didn't have the biggest of the IT providers coming out of this country, which you and me know. We didn't have an Oracle, Microsoft, big of them, right? AI, like I told you, is disruptive across these elements of what is production of software. We are in software 2.0, and we have the strongest ground of competency in software. But this is a new way of building software, right? And like I told you, training AI is like training your son. Our mothers have built the biggest biological intelligence across this globe. You and me. We can then produce intelligence. Every element of every company and operation will use AI. Every factory, company, manufacturing industry will have two factories effectively, if you think about it. They will transform their operational capacity, their intelligence into building intelligence for their product and their workflows. AI factory for that company. And then they'll have factory for operating their product and building that product, combine this, and then they will have an environment where there is a digital twin of their factory, which they can build their product first in the digital environment, operate it, check it, and then put into physical production. And when it's in physical production, if required, support it as it evolves or operates in the field. That's a path forward. The capacity to do that needs production of intelligence. You are the source for it. If you do and start this approach, our country has an opportunity to become the net producer of AI. And that's what we want to support. Thank you. I invite Prateek to talk to you about what we do in Inception.
Hello everyone. As Unni mentioned about the program for startups, so I am sharing how we support startups globally. So NVIDIA Inception is a global program, and we support startups. Currently, we have 22,000 globally as a part of the program. In India itself, we have 2,000 plus startups in this program. And as Unni already mentioned that the program is completely free. There is no equity, there is no fees involved to join the program. It's not a cohort-based program, so that's why we have these large numbers. I'll quickly run you through some of these numbers. This, I think, already, as Unni mentioned, that NVIDIA is built like a computing stack or a neural network. And the layers, if you see, there's a bottommost is the hardware, then we have software, and then we have platform and applications. Now it is up to the startup or the developer to choose whichever layer is useful for your product while building, and you can use it as per your use case, right? So this is just wanted to share. As you can see, there are multiple applications, industry specific. So we have, for example, Mona is for healthcare, Riva is for speech, Drive is for automobile, ISEC is for robotics, and so on and so forth, right? Now coming to the Inception program. So as I mentioned, we have more than 20,000 startups globally as part of the program. And the focus is on all the companies which is building their products or applications, all the tech companies. So it not necessarily be deep tech or focused on, say, specific to generative AI or robotics, but across industries we support the startups. This is a glimpse of a few of our very prominent companies globally. So if you see like Hugging Face, Perplexity.ai, Rephrase.ai, and some of them NVIDIA has also invested in them, like Perplexity, Hugging Face, and a lot of other companies. Rephrase.ai was recently acquired by Adobe. And then in India, we are very closely working with Servam AI and some other companies. So the program is built in such a way that once the startup has that, I think, matured stage of revenue and the kind of funding, then we support them very strategically with dedicated team and dedicated technical resources. So I'll come to what we offer in the program. Now, as you can see, there are multiple benefits to be part of this program. Firstly, there's a deep learning institute wherein you get a lot of credits to use for your training. Like you can go through the training programs, through the sessions, through workshops, instructor-led workshops, and all are either for free or at a very discounted pricing. So you get this opportunity. The CXO, like the CTOs and the technical team, can upskill themselves, and they can utilize these credits for their team members, right? So that is one of the major benefit. Then you get preferred pricing on almost all NVIDIA hardware and software. So be it GPUs or Jetson Kit or software licenses, you get preferred pricing. Then we also have VC Alliance, which is alliance of 1,000 plus VCs, global VCs. So if you are looking to raise funds, we connect you with the VCs. Like there's a process where you upload your deck and then we evaluate, and then it goes to all the VCs. So the VCs can further take it forward as per their investment thesis. If they really like your product and the kind of application you have built, they can take it up as per their investment thesis. Then we also have partnered with GCP and AWS, and upcoming partnerships are with Microsoft Azure, Iota. So GCP provides up to $350,000 of cloud credits. AWS provides $100,000 of cloud credits, and again, these credits the startup can use as per their requirement, either like uh, inferencing or as per their requirement, right? Apart from that, we also provide engineering guidance. So we do a lot of sessions, workshops, and some of the master class. Yesterday we had a master class on generative AI. So our solution architect, he took over the class. So there's a lot of these opportunity where startup gets to attend. There's an AI summit recently we did in Mumbai. There's a speaking opportunity for startups. They can set up their booth space. They can showcase their innovation. And upcoming we have GTC, which is a global event which happens every year in US. So there are a lot of opportunities for the tech startups to kind of join the program and then leverage these benefits, right? And you can be a part of this program till 10 years from the date of incorporation of your company. So if, for example, if the company is incorporated in this year and you join the program this year, then till 2034 you can be a part of this program. And then after that, we also have another program called Connect. So that program is for matured startups which are more than 10 years old from incorporation. And there again, the benefits are similar, but there's a separate process. You have to apply and then you can go ahead with it. So I think I've covered all of these aspects, which is free credits on the deep from the Deep Learning Institute. This is on technical side of it. Then we have preferred pricing on NVIDIA hardware and software, cloud credits from our CSP providers, and then there's a massive collection of tools. There are 150 plus SDKs, APIs, which the startups can use while building your product. And then you also get brand awareness and marketing. So we have social media templates. Once you join the program, you get access to all of it. You can use NVIDIA Inception logo on your website, on your social media to promote, and then you also get blogs and other templates which you can use it for branding purpose. Then the VC Alliance, these are some of very prominent VCs, the founding members of the Alliance, like Excel and all the other Lightspeed and others. And we have 1,000 plus VCs globally to support the startups. Now, this is the scan, like whoever is interested to be a part of this program, you can scan this and you can register. It will go to the NVIDIA website. It will open up a short form which you can fill it up and you can further apply for it. As I mentioned, the membership criteria is basically we look at that company should not be more than 10 years old, should be legally incorporated, should have full-time team including developer in place, and you should have a functional website. So these are the basic criterias, but beyond that we also look at how NVIDIA can play a role, if not now or in future, like after 1 year, 2 years down the line. So it's fine if currently your startup is in stealth mode, like zero funding, you have just started, but these basic criteria should be met to join this program, right? And this program is specifically for the companies who are building their own product and applications. It is not for IT services or IT consulting firms. IT services and consulting firms can join or apply for the Connect program, which I mentioned, which is for more than 10 years old. Yeah, apart from that, we also have a developer program which is for the individuals. So if you are not a startup, but if you want to learn what's happening in AI, what kind of latest resources and all you can leverage, you can scan, you can join the developer program. Again, that is free of cost. So it will give you a glimpse of all the resources and you can start using as and when you need it. I'll share about. So I think I've shared all of this part. I'll quickly skip this. So this is about the developer program. It is ideally for the individuals who want to try and build out their solutions in a way. Right. Yeah. Now, lastly, I want to share about GTC. Now, this is a global event which happens in the US every year. It is from March 17 to 20th March 2025. It will be in US. There are two options to attend. You can either attend it virtually from India or you can attend it physically. So if you can scan this code, it will go to the website and you can find all the information. What's the pricing? If you want to exhibit, any one of you, or if you want to attend even virtually, you have to register to attend it. So if you are interested, you can scan and or you can just search for NVIDIA GTC 2025. You will get the details. There's a small video about Inception. Can be played or? Okay, no worries. I think there is some issue with the video. So just quickly to wrap up. So as I mentioned, there's a program for startups which like those who are startups here, they can register, they can apply for it. And then the VC Alliance is for the VCs to be a part of this alliance. We have 1,000 plus VCs which supports the startup. So if you are looking to raise funds, even this is a platform for you to connect with the VCs. And I think this I have already shared the criteria to join the program. So there's nothing much about it. Lastly, you can scan these codes and either join as a startup or join as an individual for the developer program. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm around. If you want to ask now, happy to answer that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful talk. Before we conclude this session, we would like to present Mr. Prateek Jain with a token of gratitude from Kerala Startup Mission.